welcome to Reed's Read, Spider-Man Crawl Space Edition. I'm your host, Ryan Reed, creator and webmaster of Uncanny Comic Book Reader Blogspot. Please come check us out. Well, today, since I've been to miss character reviews lately, I've decided to take a look, of course, at Phil Urich, better known as the current Hobgoblin, the former Green Goblin. Well, let's just kind of break down to everything with Phil. I mean, Phil first showed up over in Spectacular Spider-Man 225 by Tom DeFalco and, of course, Scott McDaniel. Big anniversary issue with the holographical sticker here back in the mid-90s. It was a big issue. It's actually when I got back into Spider-Man, I picked up this issue. Well, Phil had his own current series, which lasted about a year and everything before Norman Osborn was coming back during the end of the Clone Saga and everything. And then Phil kind of went wayward side for a little while. Now, he found himself in the Spider-Girl, the MC2 version of that, as a supporting cast member and everything, as technically Uncle Phil to May Parker. Originally, actually, Phil was supposed to come back during Norman Osborn's return back in Spectacular Spider-Man 250 when Norman Osborn, of course, came back trying to distance himself, saying, "I am not the Green Goblin. I am Norman Osborn. I've been wronged by Spider-Man for years. I'm innocent. I swear. Even though I've admitted it many times. But I'm innocent." But anyhow, he decided to create his own Green Goblin using the psychological profiling of Dr. Angst, who was also introduced in this series by J.M. DeMantis. And what had happened was, though the Green Goblin was a big mystery, when the Hobgoblin, the original Roger Kingsley, came back trying to assert himself, saying no, he knew Norman Osborn was the Green Goblin. But what ended up happening is this Green Goblin kept getting hidden in the shadows, and it was revealed by Glenn Greenberg, who was co-writing the storyline at the time during Goblins at the Gate, that actually Phil was going to get revealed to be the Green Goblin. But since he was gaining popularity over in Spider-Girl at the time, back when it was a fully supported title, they decided to nix it and put in this weird little clone, of course, that happened during the Howard Mackie, John Byrne relaunch back in 1999. So basically, Phil kind of went into obscurity for a number of years till the Loners series started by C.B. Cebulski, which actually introduced him that the insanity had started returning from his exposure to that Goblin formula, that his sanity started going and going and going, which led to his appearance during the beginning of Big Time when Dan Slott made him the Hobgoblin. So the question is now, does Phil Urich work better as the Hobgoblin? Many people agree yes, and I also agree here. Actually, in the recent Danger Zone series from 695 to 697, also by Slott and Christo Gage and everything, talking about this return of Roderick Kingsley as the Hobgoblin, revealing that Daniel Kingsley was killed by Phil and had assumed the identity. The one thing that's also been cool has been kind of the dark turn for Phil Urich, how he's kind of gone from this noble cause of lost insanity and kind of made himself more of the bad guy, went to work for the Kingpin, and now after a big battle in 697 of Amazing Spider-Man, Roderick Kingsley let Phil be the Hobgoblin, but told him to do it right, or he would come back and finish the job. I think one thing that's been a little problem was just how obvious it's been that Phil has not been unmasked by anybody, or Spider-Man or anyone else have revealed that he is the Hobgoblin, because I think it would be a nice conflict and story drama if Peter Parker found out that Phil was really the Hobgoblin. Because, I mean, Ben Urich has been his longtime friend and co-worker for years, and what's he going to do when he finds out his nephew is lost his mind, become the Hobgoblin, murdered people, not to mention is working for the Kingpin and has killed even more people? But currently with the Superior Spider-Man, it might come back, but we don't know. I think it's also been a little weird what they've been doing with Phil, how he's gotten himself severely injured or in himself in very strange situations in the current the last Spider-Girl series with Arena, or in the Venom series where he was severely injured and sometimes beaten, saying that, his armor protected him from that, and thanks to the Hobgoblin the Green Goblin formula, he's been able to heal more in hands, similar to Norman Osborn and Harry Osborn. So they can get away with it. I mean, let's face it, Peter Parker, now Otto Octavius, gets beaten up all the time, severely injured, and an issue or two, he's all healed up and life is good. Maybe once in a while an injury lasts longer. So I'm going to have to say that Phil works well as the Hobgoblin. I think I'm at one point I would like it if we get more with Roger Kingsley, especially how they set him up kind of in this super villain setup kind of character, which would be really cool in like a new Villains for Hire or Villains Incorporated series. But we'll see how that works. But I have to say, Phil has worked great as the Green Goblin, both heroic and villain. He's worked very well as the Hobgoblin. But I'm hoping his storyline starts reaching a little bit more. It looked like it was coming to a fever pitch fever pitch, I should say, in Danger Zone instead of Spider Island, where it was looking more obvious. So I'm hoping we're going to lead a little bit more to that, because I think it would create some wonderful drama if Otto ends up masking Phil as the Hobgoblin, because that would really change a lot of dynamics in the series. But we'll see. So I'll give Phil as the Hobgoblin a 4 out of 5 webs. It's a cool story. It has been for a while. I've enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll see more as it comes. So that's all I have to say on that matter. So I will see everybody later. I'm going to be skipping Avengers this week, and I will be talking about Superior Spider-Man #2 here in the next 2 weeks. So I will see you then. Later.